Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's NFL boy Brandon, and I'm here with Mr. McDolphin. What's up, Dad? We're here for episode 4 of the NFL Boy podcast. On this episode, we're going to be doing as many know, the free agency is just about over with. So, we're going to be breaking down our two favorite teams that we thought did the best in free agency and the two teams that we thought did the worst. And then, as promised, we're going to be getting into our mock draft 1.0 for the season. So, all right, let's go ahead and do that. Dad, I turn things over to you. I guess we'll start with our favorite teams and then work our way into our least favorite teams.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I haven't been on here in a couple weeks. Sorry I missed last week. I've just been waiting on Aaron Rodgers like everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know. All right. You want me to kick it off with one of my favorites?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I narrowed it down to two teams that I thought had the best first week of free agency, the free agent frenzy or whatever they were calling it. And I guess I'll start with the LA Rams. They probably my favorite because of all the rumors of Matthew Stafford leaving because of so many quarterback needy teams. The best thing they did in free agency was keep the best quarterback that was available there. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was by far the best name that was out
What's
there.
up, Daniel?
So keeping Matthew Stafford, I thought was great. And then they lost Cooper Kupp, which kind of hurts. Cooper Kupp is not as good as he used to be, but they got Puka Nacua as the as the wide receiver one.
Yeah.
And then they went out and so they kept the best quarterback that people were talking about going somewhere. And then they turned around and got the best wide receiver in free agency, in my opinion, in Davante Adams. So they signed a 2-year contract with him worth $46 million, 26 of that guaranteed, including a $12 million signing bonus. That's awesome for Davante Adams. And the reason why, we know Davante Adams is a little bit older now and he's a good role player now. They're not asking him to be wide receiver one. They got Puka Nacua that does all the work. Davante Adams is going to ball out because people they won't be able. And then they turned around and kept Tutu Atwell, so they got really good receiving core, I think, in 1, 2, and 3. I thought they got a decent backup quarterback that they needed. They got Jimmy G over there. He knows the system. I think all is good there. So yeah, I think the Rams by default. They didn't change. They lost Cooper Kupp, got Davante Adams, but was able to keep Matthew Stafford. And to me, that was the best move of free agency.
Okay. Am I doing one of my favorite?
Yep, one of your favorites.
All right. Well, this
Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me?
I do. The only thing that I have a little bit of concern about is we know Puka Nacua's history. He cannot stay healthy. When he is a true number one wide receiver, but he cannot stay healthy. And Davante Adams, as of late, has been getting injured. So it kind of scares me having them on the same team because, like, you really wonder if they both get injured, what the fuck is going to happen with Matthew Stafford?
We've
like,
seen
he can't
that.
do it all by himself, you know?
Right. We've seen that when Cooper Kupp and Puka were both hurt. That kind of falls apart. That's kind of why I like Davante Adams in this role, is because he could step up and be a wide receiver one if he needed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Uncle Rich is in the house. He says, "What up?" And he agrees about the Rams.
Yeah, what's up, Rich? And that's one reason why I like them re-signing Tutu Atwell to a $10 million deal, $5 million of that guaranteed for a 1-year deal, because they need a good wide receiver 3, because he might have to step up, like you're saying, and be that wide receiver 2 if one of those two get hurt. So, but I think by far it's the off season is all about quarterbacks. That's what it's all about. If your team does not have a quarterback, then this is the time of year where you need to get a quarterback. Well, the Rams kept their quarterback that everybody wanted. You know what I'm saying? He got offered more
Yeah.
money to go other places, and they were able to keep him. And that's why I think it was the best move. So, but I do agree with you. They could get in trouble with Puka Nakua's health, but that's another reason why I thought the Devontae Adams signing was so good for them.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, this team that I have at my number one most favorite team in free agency is going to kind of shock you because they did very little in free agency, but the things that they did was enough of what they needed to do. At number one on my most favorite teams and the free agency fringy is the Washington Commanders. All they needed.
Hold up 1 second. That's awesome, dude. That's my second team. So
Oh, is it
yeah, it's
really?
great. So we can do it together. What are some of the reasons why you liked?
Well, my favorite is because they already was on the doorstep of hitting the Super Bowl, and they went out and they got Scary Terry some help, and
Finally.
brung over Debo Samuel in a trade with the 49ers, which I thought was really awesome because Debo Samuel is a great player, and he's going to pair very well with Terry McLaurin, and then they also went out and was like, okay, Eagles, we seen you fucking up Jaden Daniels. We're going to go trade for Laramie Tunsil. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? They got a badass offensive lineman.
40-something times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got sacked 40-something times. They had to do something at left tackle.
Yeah.
I love the Tunsil trade. I think it's great. And they hardly had to give up anything to get it. He is 30. He was the most penalized tackle last year. We know these things.
Yeah.
But Tunsil is still an all-pro. You know what I'm saying? He's still an all-pro. And he's this is a great move. A great move to shore up that his blind side. And I love the Debo Samuel trade also. What else you got?
My number two.
Hold on. We still got more because the worst part about, in my opinion, Washington last year was their defense, right?
Yeah.
And in particular, their defensive line. They really needed to do something. They had an okay pass rush. Their secondary is okay, but they went out. I don't know if you know this. They went out and got Devon Kinlaw too. Signed him to a $45 million deal, $30 million guaranteed. 3 year deal.
I did see that, but the only thing that concerns me with that is if Kinlaw can stay healthy, we know that he's a great linebacker, but he's getting up there in age and he's coming off of an Achilles tear. So how good is he going to be to go at the beginning of the season is kind of my issue.
Right. He's supposed to be healthy. I just like them beefing up both lines. On the offense and the defense, and probably getting Terry McLaurin some help. But then other than that, you know what they did? They did tons of moves like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 other moves. Every single one of them were re-signed. They're running it back with the same team. They even re-signed their kicker and their punter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all the way down to keeping Bobby Wagner, keeping their 2 and 3 wide receiver with Osborne.
Well, Dad, it's because Dan Quinn knows that he has a team good enough to go to the Super Bowl with that team that he had last year because they were on the doorstep, and he knew all that he needed to do was get a wide receiver to pair alongside Scary Terry and some offensive help, and that's exactly what he did in that Laramie Tunsil Debo Samuel trade.
Right, exactly. And that's why I think, and we'll get in when we get into the last segment of this show, I think they're candidates for going a predominantly defense draft. They're going to be looking for defense players. Dan Quinn wants some guys. He's got, you know what I'm saying? He's got his wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. He's got the left tackle in place, got his quarterback in place. He re-signed everybody else on the offensive line. The wide receiver 3 and 4 kept the tight ends. And just re-signed everybody. He's going to get some defensive players is what he's going for in the first 3 rounds, first 100 picks. I think they got 3 picks in the first 100, and they're going all defense. I could see that, and Dan Quinn getting his guys. So That's really cool. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, who else do you got? You got another winner?
Yes, my other winner, they didn't do much other than what they needed to do, and what they needed to do was enough, and that is the Chicago Bears. The Bears already had a true number one and a true number two at wide receiver. They already have a great defense. The only thing they needed to do was get Caleb Williams some help on that offensive line, and they just came in this year and they were like, okay, that's our main focus in free agency. And that's what they did. They went to work and rebuilt that whole offensive line. I'm expecting the Chicago Bears to be a threat in the NFC North come this year because of what they did in free agency. So
Yeah, I agree with that, especially the Joe Tooney, and then shoring up the offensive line, Noah Jackson and those guys. They picked up a couple Dolphins, which was kind of funny. Darren Smythe, the tight end, came from Miami. Yeah, I really like what Chicago did. I don't know. I can't go as far as you're saying that they're going to be a threat in the NFC.
we gotta wait and see how Caleb Williams does, but
That's the
he
whole point, dude.
definitely
Caleb
has
Williams
that
don't have no more
offensive line
excuses.
now.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So,
They don't have no more excuses.
yeah.
So, and I like the coaching there too now. So, we'll see. The offense should be better. Defense is shored up. What was your favorite signing that they did? Was it the Tooney deal, or which one was your favorite?
Yeah, probably
Grady
Joe
Jarrett.
Tooney, because Joe Tooney was a Pro Bowl center for the Kansas City Chiefs for, I think, like 3 or 4 years out of his whole time there. He made the Pro Bowl, which is pretty good for an offensive lineman or an offensive tackle. And for the Bears to get him definitely ensures a lot, because he not only is a great player, but he also has that veteran presence that they can bring to a young offensive line as well. So
yeah, that when they took him, when Kansas City took him out of his true spot and moved him to left tackle, that's when it kind of the whole line fell apart. But they had to do it. Kansas City has to rebuild that offensive line again. They had to do that last time they lost the Super Bowl also. So, but we know what happened afterward. They turned around and won one after that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. I can see the Chicago Bears. That's cool. That's cool. So that's your two, and my two. We only have three because we agreed on one of them.
Yep.
All right. So what about losers? We each picked two losers. You can go ahead and go first with yours, because it's going to be hard for me to. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll talk about mine here in a few. Who you got?
Okay. My two is pretty easy, but my second one, I'm not entirely gonna say they're losers just yet, because I'm waiting for another signing. So I'll go with the for sure loser, which is the Indianapolis Colts. Man, like, what the fuck are you doing? You need to rebuild an offensive line. You sign nobody on the offensive line. You go out and Chris Ballard comes out and says, "Oh, we're going to get someone to compete with Anthony Richardson for the starting job this offseason." They go out and sign Daniel Jones. Are you kidding me? He is ass. So, if AR gets injured, what the fuck is any of that going to prove? Because AR, I don't know what the hell has happened to AR, but before that injury, his first injury, he was a great quarterback, comes back, gets injured, and then now he's just continuously getting injured. And even when he's not injured, he's playing horrible. And then you just think it's okay to go out and sign a shitty ass player like Daniel Jones, who has done nothing. So,
Daniel
I'm
Jones
sorry to
went
say,
to the playoffs, dude. Daniel Jones
went
to the playoffs,
but the Colts,
and won a playoff game.
The Colts are the laughing stock of the fucking free agency market.
I totally disagree. But me and you, we disagree about Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. And I liked the signing. You think they overpaid him, is what you said. That's what you told me, right?
Well, not only that, like I think they overpaid him, and then two, it's not an upgrade from AR. If anything, it's a
It's
downgrade. And so
competition.
I don't understand what you brung him in for.
It's competition.
I don't know. I
That's
don't agree with
that's
this.
why that's why Anthony Richardson has done nothing to prove that he should be the starting quarterback. He got beat out last year for Joe Flacco, and they had
Right,
to
but
pick
Daniel Jones has only proven that he could only have one good season, and then he goes back to laughing stock.
Man, that is not true. Daniel Jones has had more than one good season. They had one good season as a team. I agree with that. With a year they went to the playoffs, and won a playoff game. But so he signed a 1-year, $14 million deal, 13.15 million fully guaranteed. So almost all of it fully guaranteed. $6 million signing bonus, and the other 7.15 is the base salary, and a max value of 17.7 million. That's if he starts. That's if they go to the playoffs. If he plays and they go to the playoffs. So that was the deal.
To the playoffs? Hell no, the Colts ain't going to the playoffs.
Shoot, they're in the easiest division in the AFC.
Well, that's true, but Washington.
All they got to do is win their division. All they got to do is win their division.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, and we're gonna get into this in a little bit. But if a man out of Miami goes to the Titans are single-handedly winning that division that season.
I don't think so. I don't.
Bro, they could win it easy with a damn rookie quarterback. He's better than any quarterback in a damn division.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence has become a joke.
You can't say that. He's never played in a NFL
right,
game.
But name a good quarterback in a damn division. AR sucks. Daniel Jones is trash. Trevor Lawrence has become a bum.
I think Daniel Jones is.
Levis is just out there trying to be Superman and playing like a fucking little bitch. Like, what the fuck were you thinking when you tried to throw that ball out of bounds and threw a pick six?
Well, the Texans are not on here as our losers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The Texans are in pretty good shape, so they might win it.
Well, they're not in here as the losers, but they had a really rough year last year because of their offensive line, and then they turned around and got rid of their best offensive lineman.
Oh yeah,
their left tackle. So it was you kind of know what they're doing in the draft. You're kind of like because they haven't really done anything. Anyways, Indy. Before we move on from Indy, they did make one good move. The reason why they're not my bums and least favorite, like you say, is because I love the Daniel Jones. I think Anthony Richardson does need some competition, and I think it's a good even match. And I think it's good, and I think Daniel Jones might win the starting position. But anyways, Charvarius Ward. Did you know they signed cornerback Charvarius Ward? Signed him to a 3-year deal for up to $60 million, $35 million guaranteed. So they kind of shored up the back end. That gives them 2 pretty good cornerbacks now.
I did like the Ward signing, but
all the other signings were all trash. So
right. That's exactly my point.
Right. I agree with you. So cool. So that was your loser. You got one more?
I do got one more loser, yeah.
Okay, what team is it?
The team that Daniel Jones used to play for. I'm going the New York Football Giants.
I also have the New York Football. This is hilarious. I also picked the Giants as my worst team. And since it's one of your worst teams, let me give you my spiel first, and then you can help me narrow this down. I got the New York. Okay, here I'm going to read you 3 names. Okay. And you tell me what 3 teams I think had the worst offseason. Okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph. On 3 different rosters, as of right now, 1 week into free agency, these are the 3 starting quarterbacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns and the New York Football Giants.
Yeah,
Tommy fucking
it would,
DeVito,
yeah.
Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph. You can't
Oh
go
yeah.
into the draft not even knowing who's going to be your starting quarterback for the year.
Hey,
You
my
can't
my
go a
thing,
week
my
into
thing,
free
my
agency
thing is
and
this
still
though.
not
My
have.
thing is this though. If you want to compare all three of them, you would have to say the worst one out of all three is the man that still has brain damage because of Myles Garrett.
Right. Okay. And check this out. Here. This is my argument. If you say the Cleveland Browns are the worst, what I like about Cleveland.
No, I'm not talking about Cleveland. I'm talking about Mason Rudolph and the damn Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember Myles Garrett smacking him right over the head with his damn helmet?
Okay, now let me name three. Yes, let me tell you three names, and this is the reason why I'm having a problem picking who had the worst. You ready?
Yeah.
DK Metcalf, Myles Garrett, Darius Slayton, Javon Holland. That's I think you're right. I think the New York Football Giants had the worst because they didn't have any other good signings. At least Cleveland was able to bring back Myles Garrett, the best defensive player available.
Yeah.
He tried to make himself available. Cleveland was able to keep him home for the same reason why I love the Rams. I love that move because they took the best defensive player off the market. But I can't give them props, and I hate what they're doing because they don't have a fucking quarterback. Now, they picked really high in the draft. Maybe they're just planning on going straight from the draft. If that's
I have okay, this is my thing, okay? And I didn't get to put this team on my loser list, and if I would have, they would have been number 3, and it's not the Cleveland Browns. It's who the Cleveland Browns want to be their starting quarterback, and that's Kirk Cousins. I'm putting Atlanta Falcons as my number 3 team for the losers of free agency. What the fuck are you doing, Atlanta? They didn't sign anyone in free agency, and then you're just like, okay, we're going to take a $186 million cap hit because we're not going to let a 33-year-old quarterback go who we're not even going to start and is coming off of an Achilles tear. Are you fucking retarded? Like, what is it? What was in the point of that? 2 years
off of it. They haven't done it. They haven't done it yet. They said they're going to keep them.
Right, but my point is like your cap hit already took $186 million hit by keeping him on your team, and you have Penix, who's going to be your starting quarterback. So why would you not let Kirk Cousins go?
I mean, they could let him go. They could take the hit this year. They still have.
So you're telling me that
he has a trade clause.
This is my thing, okay? You're going to for sure start Penix this coming year, right? Atlanta is, right? They're going to start Penix.
Yeah.
So Kirk Cousins is going to be the highest paid backup fucking quarterback in the league. He's making $186 million over this course of this season.
Same thing that happened with Russell Wilson in Denver. They paid him a really bad contract. They had to pay him last year to go play for Pittsburgh. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I just think it's retarded. If you're unsure about the teams,
Denver did the same
stop
thing.
Signing them to fucking long-term contracts.
Right. I mean, that's not what got him into the mess. What got him into the mess is turn around and take another quarterback in the first round of the draft.
That's retarded, though. If you're going to sign Kirk Cousins to a 2-year, $211 million like they did or whatever they signed him to, something ridiculous, why would you take Penix in the first round? That would just make no sense to me. I think that was also the dumbest move that Atlanta has ever made because all you did was went from ensuring that Kirk Cousins was going to start to now you're stuck with a really bad contract.
Yeah, that you can be out of it. You can get out of it. But get him out of there. You'll have to pay him this year, but you're on a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract. You know what I'm saying? He's still on his contract. So I agree. I don't like what Atlanta's done, but the whole NFC South sucks. Like it's Twitter. That's hilarious.
I'm sorry, Rich, okay? It just doesn't make sense to me. This shit is confusing.
Okay, so let's talk about these quarterbacks. How do we fix these teams? What do you think? You pick the Giants because Tommy DeVito is the only quarterback on their roster. And their best signing so far is Javon Holland, who came from the Miami Dolphins off of a terrible year. So terrible that Miami said, go get what you can get. And he got an okay contract. He didn't get overpaid. Other than that, that's really bunch of other contracts. You know, they got a cornerback. They did get Ledbetter from Jacksonville, the defensive lineman. That was a
listen. The reason.
What should they do at quarterback? How can the Giants fix this? And do
the reason why I have the Giants listed as one of my loser teams in the draft? I mean, not in the draft, in the free agency, is because we already know that Brian Daboll's on the hot seat, and we knew going into the free agency market that this needed to be a big year for the Giants because they already messed up that contract with Saquon Barkley by letting him go, and that was a stupid mistake. And then what did they do this offseason? Absolutely dog shit. You still don't even have a quarterback outside of Tommy DeVito. So, what the hell is the Giants doing?
Okay, what they do? That's what we're going to help them figure this out.
The thing is, I think they need
third in the draft.
So my thing
they're not promised a quarterback in the draft. Outside of, they're not going to get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Say they can't bet on that because they don't have, so they could move up.
Yeah.
They could be like, okay, our plan is we're going after Cam Ward. We're going to trade with Tennessee for the first pick overall. That's a smart move. Are you going to do that? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do it, do it. You know what? You don't know what direction
I wouldn't
because
for
2025. You don't know what direction your team is moving for 2025 if you don't know who your quarterback is. That's going to depend on the scheme you run. That's going to depend on everything. And I think
this is my thing, though. Real quick, this is my thing. That's not smart for Brian Daboll. That's not smart in any way, shape, or form. Do not put your job on the line in the hands of a rookie quarterback. Go out and sign a man that has shown you that he can make the playoffs because he did it last season. Shut your fucking mouth. Stop waiting on Aaron Rodgers, who could be a great quarterback or get injured again, and sign Russell Wilson. Stop, man. Go out, sign Russell Wilson. You already have Malik Neighbors. Stop playing. If I'm Brian Daboll, I'm going in that damn GM's office, and I'm like, look here, sign Russell Wilson right now. You know what I'm saying? My job is on the line. Stop fucking around,
Yeah, so, I totally agree. 100%. That's what's going to be my take. I think Russell Wilson to the Giants needs to happen.
What's up, Connor?
Okay, so let's go next with Cleveland Browns. They have the second pick overall, so they're in a little bit a different scenario. What do you think they should do at quarterback? Because quarterback has got them on this naughty list. Because a week into free agency, the frenzy is over, and Kenny fucking Pickett is their starter. So, the only people loving this is Pittsburgh Steelers fans because they're laughing the fuck at Cleveland Browns for having.
Hey. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans need to shut their fucking mouth.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about them next.
Because Kenny Pickett is a Super Bowl champion. Respect the man. Put some respect on his name.
All right, Cleveland Browns, second pick overall. So do you think they should go for, I guess, Shedeur probably would be the pick? Or should they try to move up one spot?
If I'm Cleveland, I'm not trying to move up one spot. I'm going to hang there, and either which one is there, whether it be Cam Hayward or Cam Howard, however the fuck you pronounce his name, or Shedeur Sanders, I'm taking either one because I feel like Kevin Stefanski has more of a longer rope. Like he's not walking the rope like Brian Daboll is. I feel like even if the Browns suck this season, they're probably not going to fire him. So if I'm him, I'm definitely going to try to get my rookie quarterback and prove that we can be better, because we made a huge mistake by signing some little bitch that was only good because he got massages at a Asian parlor to a $232 million
that was the owner
fully
of the,
guaranteed.
That was the owner of the New England Patriots, sir. I totally agree.
Deshaun Watson was there as well.
I totally agree about that, and the reason why they need to get onto a rookie contract for their quarterback and start building around him. Two things about that.
To be honest, Rich, it's going to be way too much of an asking price. I would not try to move up either one or two spots. You just stay there and take whatever the hell is available to you.
That's a good question, though. I think they would have to swap, give their third overall,
and then they're probably going to have to give up a first-round pick in next year.
Yeah, probably a first next year, and maybe something small after that. But that's it, because they're only moving up two spots. So maybe a first and a fourth next year, and swap this year. So we just bagged on your Colts, Uncle Gus, for about 20 minutes, so you missed it.
Yeah, we were talking shit about the Colts, Uncle Gus.
He's trying to put down your number one QB there.
Hey, listen, Uncle Gus. All I'm saying is Danny Dimes is ass. What was in the point of bringing him in? He's not competition for AR.
He's the best competition. They have so much in common. Anyways, let's get back to this. I think you are correct about the Cleveland Browns. The reason why is because they need a rookie quarterback. They need that 5 years, you know what I'm saying, of that rookie contract. So
I think this would have been a better signing than Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Kenny Pickett is their backup, or are they going to bring in somebody else?
I do think they leave. I do think that they leave Kenny Pickett as backup, but I do think the rookie will beat him out to start the season. So
okay, cool. Sounds good. Now let's fix the Pittsburgh Steelers. They cannot have Mason Rudolph. What do? What is the best thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers to do? They can't trade up, right? They pick way down. They would give up so much.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Their asking price for Pittsburgh would be off the chain. They would potentially have to give up 3 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. Like they would have to give up a first of this year, swap, give up a first of next year, and maybe even a first of that following year after that to even move
probably
up
because
to 1 or 2.
They went to the playoffs this year, so they're picking way down in the 20s. So that's almost.
I think the thing that Pittsburgh should do is I know that I just said that he should go to New York, but I think it would make a lot of sense for Pittsburgh to re-sign Russell Wilson. And with that trade that you made in the offseason, I thought that's where they were going. I thought that they were already going to have re-sign Russell Wilson, because
they should have kept somebody.
Well, see, the thing is they went out and let Justin Fields go, right?
That's
like
who they
we thought that they were going to either keep Fields or re-sign Wilson. So they let Fields walk. Then they go out and they get who in a trade, Dad? DK Metcalf. Right. Who did DK Metcalf play with before Geno Smith? Yeah. Russell Wilson. So I was thinking, okay, it made sense now. They're going to re-sign Russell Wilson. What are they doing? They're waiting for old man, nursing home bound Aaron Rodgers to make a damn decision on what his future is. Like, get the hell over this, man. Just go re-sign Russell Wilson. What the hell are you waiting on?
Oh, so is that what you think they...
I think
the Giants already signed Russell Wilson in our scenario. They've already signed him.
If they've already signed Russell Wilson, then signing Aaron Rodgers would be in their best interest.
Because they've already kicked Russell Wilson out the building. He played for him last year, and they're like, "No, we don't want you, dude. We don't want to."
Well, they haven't shut the door on him yet. They're just waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers is doing.
I told them to go suck, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck them. But you know what I think they should do?
What?
They should have kept Russell Wilson, like you said, or right now, I think they should say, fuck this. This is what we're doing. We're signing Russell Wilson back, and then pick 21, take Jackson Dart.
Hey, that would be a good draft pick there.
Yeah, Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson.
And
actually,
I've
they have a lot
actually,
in common.
fun fact, I've actually seen him rumored to be drafted by Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So
I would, yeah, that's what I would do. I would pick Jackson Dart at 21, but I would get my quarterback in the building right now.
No, you don't think Dart's good enough to start from day one?
Maybe Russell Wilson. He's not all that great anymore. You know what I'm saying? It would be a full blown out competition, is what it would be, and the other one's the backup. Sign a veteran quarterback to a 1-year deal right now. You got Mason Rudolph. Let him fight over it. Keep 3 quarterbacks on your roster. Keep the rookie. Keep Mason.
Listen, Mason Rudolph is ass, and we all know why he's ass, because he has brain damage.
He played. Yeah, Myles Garrett nailed him, but he played. He played better. He was the best quarterback in Tennessee last year.
Well, yeah, because Will Levis is trash.
Right. Cool. All right. So, we can't have Russell Wilson going to 2 different places.
I think Russell Wilson.
I think the Giants or Pittsburgh need to get up off their ass, sign their quarterback.
Yeah, one of the
Pittsburgh
two.
needs to worry about drafting somebody. And I would
hang on. There's another team that's in need of a quarterback that I just seen that dropped out of the Aaron Rodgers pursuit. The Vikings.
The Vikings, but they had an announcement come out today that they're going with who was the rookie last year?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. They're going with him. They are going to sign a veteran, but they don't think, they haven't shut the door on Aaron Rodgers. So is what they said.
Okay. Hey, I like that move. We didn't get to see JJ McCarthy last year. And, I'm excited to see what he can do.
But you need a veteran behind him. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, you need a veteran. Just in case it don't work out. So
because this technically is going to be his rookie year, considering that he got hurt before the season.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel? A lot of people are saying that they should sign Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal. Let JJ actually, because he didn't do nothing last year but rehab, right?
Yeah.
Let him actually have a red shirt year. Okay, Aaron Rodgers with the 2, probably the best wide receiver in the league, really good offensive line.
Oh my God. All I'm saying is, can you imagine Aaron Rodgers with JJ and Jordan Addison? Dude, the fucking Vikings might be more dangerous than they were last season with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And that would be insane.
Some people think that's what they should do. It's definitely something to think about. All I know is if I was New York, I would put a draft plan together and not wait on Aaron Rodgers. I would go ahead and get.
No, if I'm New York, especially with Brian Daboll being on the hot seat like he is, I'm not waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers is doing. I'm giving Russell Wilson a call right now. Hey, you want to complete for me?
Visit there.
A year or 2 years, and but I seen a thing that came out. A report came out either yesterday or the day before, and it said that the Vikings are out. No. It didn't say the Vikings were out on Aaron Rodgers. It said that Russell Wilson is ready to sign with the team now, but Pittsburgh and New York, which is the only 2 teams interested in him, are both waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers' future holds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
That's why I said that's where I've been doing, is just waiting on Aaron Rodgers. That's why I didn't come on air, because, we had to talk about him, and there's nothing to talk about because he hasn't chose to do nothing. My plan is none of these teams get Aaron Rodgers.
The damn mountains in his damn forest cave again.
No, he's in Malibu on the beach, dude. Here's the plan. This is what's going to happen this year. I'm going to go ahead and call it, and you're going to think I'm a genius when it happens. All
Okay.
these teams are going to get quarterbacks, probably something similar to what we said. Aaron Rodgers is going to announce his retirement. He's going to retire. Week 2 of the season, Tua is going to get sacked, get a concussion. Miami is going to call Aaron Rodgers up and be like,
up on this guy.
Man, I'm not wishing it on him. Nobody wants that to happen, but everybody knows that probably will happen because it happens every year. The dude always gets a concussion. So, anyways, and then Miami's going to call Aaron Rodgers up, say, hey, man, come out of retirement, finish this year. And, we're actually going to be able to see the best wide receiver duo with Aaron Rodgers down in Miami. So with Tyreek,
I could see that happening.
No,
I could see that happening.
I don't want that to happen to Tua, but
No.
I do want Aaron Rodgers.
I'm seriously, and I'm not joking about this. All jokes aside, I'm seriously concerned for that man. I think if he has another concussion, he might seriously die.
They're not going to extend him. Like, they could free up a whole lot of money right now by extending him. They're not going to, because they have an out in 2026. They're going to start quarterback hunting. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron Rodgers probably has the measles. That's fucked up, Uncle Rich.
Yep. So, all right, shit. Look, you want to go ahead and
start? Well, what the hell was you saying, Dad? They're not going to extend him?
No, they're not going to. They could restructure his contract, right?
Yeah.
Move a bunch of that money up to right now, which would tie him into 27 and 28. Tie him down to Miami, but they have an exit ramp off of his contract in 26, and that's what they're going to take. They're already planning. You can't plan for Tua long term. That's the problem.
Yeah,
because you don't know if they're going to get hurt, and that's the reason why. Like I almost picked them as losers of the free agency, because they have to worry about a backup quarterback almost as much as they have to worry about their quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks that's what they have to do, but that's what they have to do. And they got fucking Zach Wilson, dude, as their backup quarterback.
Hey, Dad, don't be hating on Daddy Milf, bro.
Yeah, Daddy Milf.
He's gonna try to bang all the older women in Miami.
Down in Miami Beach. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, Gus. So, Gus said that the Miami weather could be good for Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers old dog.
Like I said, now that you actually mentioned that scenario, I could very well see that happening.
Of course you can, because Tua gets knocked out every fucking year.
Well, okay. Yeah, but not only that, like, I could really see. Oh my God, Uncle Gus said Cougar Love. I'm so done right now.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Daddy Milf's in Miami, baby.
All righty, shall we get into the mock draft one?
All right, mock draft time. You gonna share it on the screen? Can you share it on the screen?
Yeah. Share screen, mock draft, bam. All righty, Dad, you're gonna have to keep us up with the comments because I cannot see the comment section.
Okay, I'll try.
Alrighty.
We're gonna do first round. Hold on. First round.
We're gonna do the first round, and we want to select all teams, right?
Yeah, you just hit the all button right there. That's all.
Where the hell is the all?
Right above where it says NFC.
Okay, I see now.
Boom. There you go.
All right, sweet. All right, so
I'm odds, you're evens.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we're doing only one round, right?
Yep, first round.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Dad, you're on the board.
Yep. Tennessee does not have a quarterback of the future, and we're doing no trades, correct?
Yeah.
So I am going to take Cam Ward out of the University of Miami. So.
Alrighty. Well, that's who I think they're going to take, honestly. Okay. I'm going to shake everybody's mind. We already know that the Cleveland Browns need a quarterback, but I'm not going quarterback. I'm going with Daniel Jeremiah, and I'm going to take Abdul Carter going and pairing alongside Myles Garrett on the opposite edge for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I really like that.
So
I really like that. All right. Next up, I got the New York Football Giants.
Dad, don't do it to me. Do not do it to me.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm really thinking what I think they should do is sign Russell Wilson. They should sign Russell Wilson and draft Travis Hunter. That's what they should
that
do.
would be fucked up.
That's what I think they should do. But we don't know if when we do our 2.0, if they have Russell Wilson, they will be taking Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
If they have a better quarterback. But right now they do not have a quarterback of the future. So I think they have to lock in the second best quarterback in this draft. And do you think Shedeur Sanders, I just took him. Do you think that Coach Prime
We're going
is going to
Shedeur
let his
Seniors,
son,
right?
Yeah. Do
Okay.
you think that his son, Coach Prime, is going to let his son go to New York? So, there you go.
I don't think he'll like it, but I don't think there's anything that he can do about it.
Right.
You know. All right. Well, at number 4, without a doubt, New England's taking the play it everything Travis Hunter, baby. Give it to me. Is he going to be our wide receiver? Is he going to be our cornerback? Is he going to be our offensive lineman? You don't know because he plays everything.
Yeah, he's a better, in my opinion, he's a better wide receiver than he is a cornerback.
I honestly think
he's the best
New England
cornerback in this
takes
draft. He's the best cornerback in this draft.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. But I think if New England honestly takes Travis Hunter here at 4, I think we are going to make him full-time wide receiver because it would make no sense to have signed what the fuck is his name? The dude out of Detroit. I forget his name now, damn it. Hold on.
Who that New England took?
Yeah, that New England signed. And
what position does he play?
Cornerback. He's out of
Oh, no. I can tell you right now, if New England takes Travis Hunter, he is their wide receiver 1. He has to be. They don't have a receiving core.
Well, where the fuck is he at? Oh, Carlton Davis. He's Carlton Davis is going to be our true number 2 at cornerback, correct? He's going to be opposite side of Christian Gonzalez.
Okay.
So
Travis Hunter will be your wide receiver 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. If New England takes Travis Hunter here at 4, I think he's going to be full-time wide receiver for us. Because if we had plans on making him a cornerback, it would have made no sense in signing Carlton Davis. Right. So that's all I'm saying.
Cool.
So
Travis Hunter, Jacksonville is up next.
Yep.
Let's see, what is Jacksonville? They need defensive tackle.
They need defensive tackle, tight end, cornerback, offensive tackle, and wide receiver.
Yeah, I think all of them are this is too early. I'm going to kind
of... Dad, there's a defensive tackle right there out of Michigan listed at 4th.
No. I would not.
Graham?
I'm not taking it. Yeah, not for me. I'm not taking a defensive tackle that high. I would take an edge rusher. I would take an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't take a guard. I wouldn't take a guard or a defensive lineman this high. I wouldn't take a safety this high. Because I like the prime positions. They need a wide receiver, but Travis Hunter's off the board. I think, what about the dude that blew up at the combine, the offensive tackle out of Missouri, Mumbo? Rod Mimbo. You see him?
This thing right here.
Yep. He's badass. A lot of people have, since the combine, have him
Yeah.
going over Will Campbell because this dude is a beast. Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
He is 6'4", 235, 232 pounds. 6'4", 232 pounds. And at the combine, he just racked up. Like, he is huge. He has a huge arm reach, and that's what the
Yeah.
people knock about Will Campbell is his arm length. So Mimbu is going to be an actual real tackle, left tackle of the future. So
Okay.
that's let's just have Jacksonville take them. Raiders up next.
Okay, well, the Raiders need a cornerback, a running back, a wide receiver, a safety, and a defensive tackle. Listen, you got.
I mean, it's your pick, but I think it should be either the running back or wide receiver off the board at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly where I was going. You could take the running back out of Boise State, but I think the Raiders, having found Geno Smith, is going to go get him a little more help. Opposite side. Well, maybe actually he might be their true number one. And then Jacoby Myers is going to play the opposite side there. We're going to take my man McLinlan, however the fuck pronounce his last name.
McMillan.
Yeah, wide receiver out of Arizona. This dude is badass, Dad. I literally watched tape on him the other night. Oh my God, bro. He's like 6'6", and he's a little over 200 pounds, I think, or somewhere near 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. And he's that type of dude that he's almost the height of a tight end. So all you got to do is just throw it up. And we know how Geno Smith just loves to throw it up to his wide receiver. So
that is true. I think that is a good pick. The New York Football Jets are up next. They are happy as hell that Mason Graham is still on the board. They run the card up there and take the best defensive lineman in the draft. Which
okay.
New England and Miami is going to hate that.
Yeah.
Just telling you.
But we got Milton Williams, though. We're not too worried, all right?
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, the Carolina Panthers need a cornerback, an offensive
center, safety, edge is really important,
and wide receiver.
They need a cornerback though. You got Will Johnson there. I don't know, cornerback. I would not take a safety this high.
No. I think I don't know too much about him.
I would either take Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Will Johnson, to me, is the best cornerback in this draft. I mean, of course, outside of Travis Hunter, but he's the best pure cornerback from Michigan. He's locked down corner. Outside, he does a boundary corner, really, really good. But Shamar Stewart, he's an edge rusher, Texas A&M. He is a really good player too. I think either way you wanted to go, but those are your two guys. Panthers would take one of them to help out on that defense. So
yeah. Well, they just signed J.C. Horn to a extension, and I think they're going to get him a little more help and go Will Johnson
on the other side. That's two shut down corners that they'll have. That's pretty awesome. Okay, the Saints. Saints are up. They don't need tackle help, but they do need guard help. They're going to take Will Campbell. They're going to take Will Campbell.
You got them taking Will Campbell and
kicking him into guard is what they're going to do. But he'll be the backup. Okay. He'll be like your swing tackle starting guard.
Yeah,
starting guard. But you can kick him out the tackle if you need to. So
okay. Well, listen. Chicago is sitting here at 10, and they're like, hold up. We don't need offensive tackle because we already signed our entire offensive line. We do, however, need a running back, and we're going to take the running back out of Boise State.
Ashton Gentry.
Yep. Cool. So, And I like that move by Chicago right there because that ensures that you have a young, good running back for years, and then you can still sign a veteran like Nick Chubb or something to pair alongside him.
It's just pretty funny. I got San Francisco on the board. We didn't talk about San Francisco in the last segment, but we very easily could have. They had one of the worst.
Oh yeah,
Free
they
agency.
were
And
ass
it's
in
not
free
because they
agency
haven't
too.
done a lot, because they didn't do a lot, but they got picked apart, dude. And do you see their needs up there? It's every position on the defense. They
Oh
need
yeah,
defensive tackles. They need edge, defensive ends. They need linebackers. They need corner. They need every position on. So they're taking best player available. They're gonna take Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M, the edge rusher. So, because
okay.
they could actually move him back and forth. He could play defensive line and edge. So he's kind of versatile because he's a big boy. So that's what they're going to do. Dallas Cowboys are up.
Yeah.
Who?
Listen, they're kind of screwed here because they needed a wide receiver, but I don't
Well,
know if there's any more wide
they still
receivers
got
good
Golden.
outside of the Arizona dude.
Golden's here. Matthew Golden, Texas wide receiver. He would be your
Okay.
next one on the board. Right there at the top. Yeah, he would be your next one on the board. What else running
They needed a
back?
running back,
Can't take a
a
running back.
wide receiver, and then I think it said offensive
Rich, if you're still
guard
listening,
and an edge.
Rich, what do you what happened? What the hell happened here?
What?
My screen cut off. Can you see me still?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay, cool. All right, my screen jumped to something else.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to see if Rich is still listening. He can get in the comments. I don't know. They don't need tight end. Dallas Cowboys. They're up, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, the Dallas Cowboys isn't up anymore. I gave them Matthew Golden.
Okay.
Yeah. Wide receiver out of Texas. Which I
That's
really did like
actually-
because they didn't, that's one of their needs that they needed was wide receiver.
And that was that's actually what's the dude from NFL mock drafts? Daniel Jeremiah.
Oh yeah.
He put out his 2.0 yesterday, and he had Golden going to Dallas also.
Oh, okay.
So they want McMillan, but we already had him off the board.
Yeah.
So Matthew Golden is the second best wide receiver in this draft. So that's pretty cool. All right, Dolphins is up.
Yep.
Offensive line, defensive line. They're going to take probably. I've been in the mock drafts. I've been doing. It's come down pretty similar. A lot of there's some people that think Tyler Warren should go here to tight end out of Penn State. This is Jonnu Smith's last year with the Dolphins, and so he would be his replacement. Tyler Warren is getting grades like people are thinking, of like because he's a really good blocker and he's a really good pass catcher. So he's like an all-around tight end. But I can't pass up the offensive tackle, Kevin Banks Jr. out of Texas. He can play guard or tackle. He played both in college. First was guard, got kicked out to tackle. So I'm going to take Kevin Banks, and he's going to kind of shore up the offensive line, which is something Miami's been struggling with.
Okay. Well, here is the Indianapolis Colts, and it's actually funny that you passed on him, Dad, because the Indianapolis Colts, as of right now, it's another one of their needs. They don't have a tight end, so they're going to take Tyler Warren out of Penn State. They did not re-sign Mo Alley-Cox. They may have a tight end, but it's a really shitty tight end if they have one on their roster right now. So I think this could be a really good pick potentially for whoever the hell their quarterback ends up being.
Yep. Rich Brandon picked Dallas, and he took Golden. So he did take the Texas. What isn't he from Texas? Scroll down.
Yeah, he is from Texas.
Yeah, Texas wide receiver.
Yeah, wide
Um,
receiver
yeah, we know
Texas.
about T. Higgins, man. That's old news. 4 years, 115 million. We already knew that.
Listen, I like the re-signing. It sucks for teams that needed a wide receiver like New England and shit, but I liked it because we knew vocally how Joe Burrow was feeling about getting those signings done for his offensive players, and the Bengals listened to him. So
Cool. Cool. And that does not leave them money to do anything else, but okay.
yeah, no, it doesn't, but they did get done what they needed to, which was re-sign their wide receiver. So.
Dak and his golden lamb.
Oh
Rich
my gosh.
Rich said Dak and his golden lamb. What the
I
hell?
am so done.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That Rich, you know what? After that comment, I hope Golden comes to you now just so that can be your name on fantasy this year.
All right, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons need help in every single defensive spot. No kidding. So they're going to take the best defensive player on the board. And they're Jalen
We're going
Walker.
Williams edge out of Georgia
It's
here, right?
Jalen Walker or Malik Williams. Would they rather have an edge rusher or a linebacker? This linebacker out of Georgia, right? Jalen Walker, right here.
Yeah.
This dude, he's a middle of the field linebacker, but he can
Okay.
also pass rush. Yeah, they
Okay.
send him Georgia. He has the ability to rush the passer from the lined up as linebacker. He can move up. They're going to take Malik Williams. If Malik Williams really falls this far, I think Atlanta will take them. So, all right, you're up. You got Arizona.
Alrighty. Well, Arizona really needed that edge rusher. That's their number one need, but the edge is off the board. So they really need a offensive guard and a linebacker here. But
Yeah,
since
those
you
two are ranked
was
right beside each other too. That's yeah, they probably got both of them ranked that high. So.
since you was talking about Walker and I'm not sure if he was still on the Arizona Cardinals or not, but Hassan Reddick is no longer there.
Right.
So they definitely need linebacker help. So I'm taking Walker here.
Okay. Awesome. It's a good pick. The Bengals, they're going all defense all the time for this whole draft. They're gonna draft nothing but defensive players because they have all their money wrapped up into offense. They're gonna take Malik Starks, Georgia safety, by far the best defensive player still left. He's kind of like that, that middle of the field point guard. He can be the captain of that defense. That's what he did in Georgia. And if you can do that in Georgia in the SEC, see if you can do it in the pros, I guess.
Okay. Well, the Seattle Seahawks is
Big
licking their
Booker.
chops and they're
Booker.
saying thank you because we need a offensive guard help our new quarterback. So
Tyler Booker, he showed out at the combine. Tyler Booker did. He was a mean
didn't he run an impressive 40?
Yeah, and he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. I can't remember what his 40 was, but it was kind of crazy. He was
I
like
think what's
4.3s or
crazy
something
is
like
I
that.
think he ran faster than some of the damn wide receivers, and I'm like, bro, how the hell you get outbeat
Yeah,
by
he
an
was like a
offensive
4.4
guard?
something, a 4.4 something at
Yeah,
321 pounds.
yeah,
It's
that was
fucking crazy.
insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, Tampa Bay's up next. We got Tampa Bay. They need defensive players too. They're gonna take I don't know. I like John. I like Bam. They're gonna take Derek Harmon out of Oregon. This guy, really good defensive lineman. He's a big boy, 313 pounds, 6'4". I just like me personally. I like him better than Pierce on the edge. That's just me personally. Pierce is taller, but he's a lot smaller. He has a long arm reach. He's pretty good. But Denver Broncos, I think we're on you, ain't we?
Yeah. Well, the Denver Broncos needed a running back and wide receiver, but all the running back and wide receivers that are even worthy is off the board at this
Right.
point. So,
Right. They're the only ones that I see. It would be really high if you took them from here. But that dude at Ohio State, what's it? And Bukwa or whatever his name is.
what does he play? Running back?
No, he's a wide receiver, Ohio State. He comes with all the great wide receivers. Um,
Oh, okay.
he's the third out of the last two that came. The one last year, junior, went to
Oh,
Arizona.
okay. Yeah, I
He
know you're
played with
talking
him
about.
in college. He played with uh, all those guys. He would probably be next up, and probably the only other one that might go in the first round, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I think it would be way too much of a reach if they were really set on taking him here. I would trade back. They could trade down 4 or 5 spots and still get him, and get more
Okay.
draft picks. In my opinion, that's what I would do. The best offensive player on the board right now, Colton Loveland. That could be. Hey, you might want to do that. Tight end Colton Loveland. Remember how he said he wanted a joker? Did you hear Sean Payton say that? He said it on. He was on some media. They were interviewing him, and he was like, "What this offense needs is a joker, a guy that can do everything." Colton Loveland out of Michigan, that motherfucker's badass, dude. He can do everything. He's an all
Okay.
around. Um,
Yeah, no, I
all
haven't
around
seen
guy.
tape on Loveland yet. I'm definitely gonna go watch that.
Yeah, yeah. Just watch his highlights. But I've seen Michigan play quite a bit. Colton Loveland,
Yeah.
I could probably see he's the next
I watched
best
a handful of Michigan
offensive
games
player.
this past season, so I may have already seen him. I just don't remember.
Cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do what we talked about earlier. And Pittsburgh Steelers is up, and they are going to take Jackson Dart at 21.
Okay.
So
I
there they
like
go.
that.
They got their quarterback. They're going to kind of do the same thing they did, the last time. Pick a shitty ass quarterback in the first
Yeah.
round that doesn't belong being taken in the first round, and bring a veteran in. I think they should have went young. They didn't. We already talked about this. I don't know what they're going to do. Bring a veteran in, but yeah, Jackson Dart is the next best quarterback. Probably shouldn't go in the first round. I don't mind taking him at the end of the first round, because you get that 5th-year option on him if he blows up and is actually pretty good. Jackson Dart is really good. He's good. He just doesn't have first round grades. So.
Yeah.
All right, Chargers up.
Well, the Chargers are up, and they don't technically need this guy, but they're just going to take best available because they can't believe he's still here when he was ranked 19th, and they're just going to take the James Dude edge rusher out of Tennessee.
Gus is cracking me up in the comments. He said Rich's golden shower.
Oh my God.
Basically, piss on Rich. That's pretty funny. Okay, who did you take? Sorry.
I took the edge rusher out of Tennessee.
Okay, Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Pierce Jr. He's pretty badass. He's definitely the next big guy up. These guys right here that are up here now, I really like them. My personal opinion. I think the next team that needs, who's up next? Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Got some good defensive players right here. Jahad Campbell is a lot like the linebacker that was taken earlier. He can be the middle of the field guy for you. He can run that defense for you, and he can. They also use him in Alabama on blitzes and things like that. So
Okay.
yeah, Jahad Campbell.
All right.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Hey, they need a safety, and Woomer. How do you say this dude's name? And
Nick or I have
Aruma,
no idea.
Arumawe, something like that. I seen him at the combine. He's a safety. Um, he blew up at the combine. He looked really good. He was like a second round. A lot of people had him in the second round,
Yeah.
but he moved up the draft board um, since the combine. So
Okay.
I think probably that's their number one need. So
Yeah.
I would probably they'd probably be very happy that he's still there. I would guess.
Okay. That's exactly what I took for them.
Cool. Okay. Do you know anything about this Josh Simmons guy?
I do not
I was going to
know.
tell you what happened is he he's okay. Before this happened, he was projected as the best tackle in this year's draft. He was going to be the number one tackle off the board. He was going to go first, second, third in the first 5 picks. Whoever
Yeah.
wanted the best tackle, he's by far the best tackle, and he got hurt.
He got hurt at the combine,
He
correct?
blew. No. This was during the season.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
this past season, he blew his knee out, like completely blew it out. Um, it was
Oh.
it was he should have enough time to be back, but the reason why he's dropping in the draft and the reason why he he couldn't participate in the combines because he was still hurt. Like
Yeah.
all these teams are waiting for his medical records because it's really hard. So like this realistically could be this pick right here could be the best offensive tackle in the draft, and you would be taking him at what pick are we on? 25.
25.
So I'm gonna this late in the draft. I don't mind doing it. They have to get the
Are we
replacement.
taking
Right?
Josh Simmons?
Yeah, they have to because they just traded their left tackle, and
Yeah.
they're just gonna hope and pray. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
there it is, and it kind of works right into their hand with Simmons potentially the best tackle in the draft falling all the way to 25 because of
All
it.
right. Dad, I
Yo.
need you to pay attention here,
Uh-huh.
okay? Because I'm about to fuck this whole draft up, and we're at 26.
Right.
Where I'm going with the Rams is not even listed on here, but they're going to go ahead and they're going to take Matthew
quarterback OG.
Stafford's replacement
Okay.
and Jalen Milrow. And
Yeah,
I really
Jalen Milrow.
I like Jalen Milrow a lot
He's a
out of
big boy.
Alabama. I get why he fell this far because in high pressured games he really struggled, but
His
I think
accuracy.
Jalen Milrow has a lot of upside.
Yeah,
So,
he's a lot like Anthony Richardson to
yeah.
me. That's who he reminds me of. Dude can run. Dude can throw short passes on the run. Those kind of things. His accuracy is terrible, and his mechanics is what makes his accuracy so terrible.
But Sean McVay can
Right,
fix all that.
Exactly. They can bring him in for this year, redshirt him this year, and let him train this whole year, and you could come up with another Josh Allen. I mean, realistically, that's who he could be like, because end up being like a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So, Josh Allen type. He's not quite that big. Okay, I like that. I don't think that will happen. I do not believe that. I think a big group of those quarterbacks will go hard in the second round. But that's cool because the Baltimore Ravens are very happy that you passed on Jahad Barron, the second best cornerback in the draft. How in the hell did he fall all the way to 23? I have no idea. But Jahad Barron.
27.
Oh, like 27. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are at 27, ain't we?
Yeah.
Yep, 27. Yeah, that's even crazier. They're going to take Barron. Barron is a little bit smaller corner. He's probably projected to be that third corner.
Yeah.
Not a barrier guy, but move him down. But he can do both. He did both in college. He's just a little bit smaller. go to a great defensive scheme like Baltimore, and they'll find a place for him. So that's awesome.
Okay. Well, Detroit Lions need an edge and an offensive guard before they need a cornerback, but they lost Carlton Davis to New England, so they're going to take this cornerback out of Eastern Carolina.
Yeah, I know very little bit about him. I know that he's tall and skinny, and he's. I mean, he is pretty tall. How tall is he? How tall does that say? He's 6'1". Really smart guy, but he's a small school guy. That's the reason why I don't know a lot about him. I would need to watch
He's
his highlight.
6'1", 194 pounds.
Yeah, he went to Eastern Carolina, so he's
Yeah.
a small school guy. I don't know a whole lot about him. I have not. I don't know. I haven't watched anything on him because kind of people past Miami, I haven't really focused on quite a bit. So that's cool. All right, Washington's up. They need edge.
Hang on, Dad.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Booker, he's a bad
Well, shit.
motherfucker.
I was trying to see if they would name off what his 40 time was on there, but they didn't name it
They
off.
didn't.
But yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah. All right. So next up, 29, Washington. They're going all defense all the time. Nick Scorton, that's who they'll take. Texas A&M, we got to see him in the SEC.
Yeah.
He's a bad motherfucker coming off the edge. Pretty impressive. Little bit sloppy at time. He's like a bull rush dude. So guys are bigger than him, he has a problem with. But it's good. This is where we'll kind of probably see last 3 picks. What does your player pool look like? Yeah, see now the wide receivers are up.
The Buffalo Bills are here, and we know what they need, and Josh Allen needs some more wide receiver help. So they're going to take the dude out of Ohio State. They're going to be like, yeah, we're just getting him more help.
Okay. That kind of makes sense. That makes sense. I think Kansas City's going to do the same thing. They're going to take the kid out of Missouri. He did really good at the combine too. I got to see him, but I watched him play Kentucky this year. I watched Missouri in the SEC. We get to watch him play certain. So I've seen a few games. Seen him. They're going to do the same thing. I could really see these picks being real too at the end, because that's where these guys belong at the very end of round 1, or they will not last deep into round 2. They'll go at the very top of round 2 if they fall in the first round. So
the Eagles need just about everything on defense, man. Their defense got brutalized in the offseason, so they're going to take the defensive tackle out of Ohio State. They're going to take Williams.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm telling you right now, out of these 2 guys, I would rather have Walter Nolan.
Nolan, we'll give him that.
Yeah, Walter Nolan is a beast, man. He is, I'm surprised. Well, no, I guess Williams is bigger. I don't know. Walter Nolan, though, he's like muscles, man.
Look at this, Dad. The steal of the draft was at 27, Jahad Barron going to the Baltimore Ravens.
How in the hell did the second best corner drop all the way down to 27? We're idiots. He'll be gone way before then. He really is. He's by far, like, after Will Johnson, he's the second best. I mean, I keep saying second best, but it depends. If you use Travis Hunter as a cornerback, then he would be third. But I don't count him as a third. So there you go. All right, that was fun. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll see as teams start, filling in over the next, we got about 6 weeks till the draft. So let's do that again. And maybe between now
over the course of the next 6 weeks, we need to pump out about 3 more mock drafts.
Yeah. So. We'll watch a bunch of tape. We'll do this again. and maybe have like a news segment. We'll talk about anything that's
See you
happening
next week,
between now
Connor.
and then.
Yeah, Connor, we will definitely be here next Tuesday, me and Dad. For some weird ass reason, just keep on forgetting about the podcast on Tuesdays, and then on Wednesdays we're like, oh shit, we forgot about the podcast last night. Let's do an episode tonight.
Yeah, so Tuesday
So,
or Wednesday.
We will
We'll talk
definitely
about
be
free
back
agent
next
signings
Tuesday.
between now and then do another mock draft. How's that?
Yeah. Well, I kind of also, if there isn't any big free agency signings, maybe we could deep dive into the draft.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just watch a bunch of tape on some guys.
Rich said, "Love draft talk."
We could do some draft talk.
Yeah, by next Tuesday, I'm definitely gonna have watch tape on a lot more of these guys. Like I said, I know a handful of them because I've either watched tape or seen them play live on games. But by next week, everybody that I don't know, I'm gonna watch tape on, and that way I can hold a conversation on each one of them.
Okay. So. Well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a little bit of all that. Just go over a little bit of news and some draft talk and teams and needs or something like that. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Play the fucking music. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
All right. We're out until next week. Peace.
Bye, y'all. In the
What's up, Ghost? You're a little bit too late. What's going on, though, brother? $8 p.m. next week, guys. 8 p.m.